doing perfect the last couple of weeks. Oh, yeah.
A mouthful of peanut butter. I can't talk.
See, the moment that I wait for you this
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. The moment I wait for her, she don't get her cue. All off the camera. All right.
Sorry.
What's up, everybody? This is our real Christmas episode. I don't know if last week we said that was our Christmas episode or not. I can't remember. But this was going to be our real Christmas episode. I'm actually going to, make sure I had this up for you guys on Christmas morning. And, maybe you'll listen to us while you open your presents or something. Who knows? We got our Christmas hats on and stuff. They actually light up. You can't tell, but it actually is lit up. I don't feel like it, actually.
He said,
I'm like, I could. Well, no, the light's on up there.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see it, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, they light up. Mine's lit up. Anyway.
mine's not.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? I hope you're having a good Christmas morning. If you're listening to this on Christmas morning, if you're listening to this after Christmas, I hope you had a good Christmas. It is now, it's 5 minutes until Christmas Eve, but.
It's Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
If you know that reference, comment down below.
Yeah, comment now, pause, and then I'm going to give my guess, because I honestly don't know. But I'm going to give my guess to what I think it is. And I think it is Elf. Damn. Grinch. Wait, Friends. When I actually thought about it, I was like, oh, wait, no, that's Friends.
It's Friends. Phoebe goes, it's Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve. I'm glad you aren't one of those one people, even though I feel like you could be one of those one people if you thought about it.
What?
If, like, on Halloween, you watch all the Halloween Friends episodes. On Thanksgiving, you watch all the Thanksgiving episodes. On Christmas, you watch all the Christmas episodes.
I'm gonna say, if I actually gave a fuck, I would do that. I do love Friends. Friends is like my comfort. I said my comfort.
Your circumferences.
Yeah, my comfort show when I'm, feeling down and depressy. I watch that. That's when the hubby's like, what's wrong? Why are you depressed? Why are you watching Friends? That's his cue. But haven't been.
Yeah, I haven't watched Friends in a while.
Watch Friends in a while. However,
that's good.
I might watch Friends when I go to work tomorrow. Oh man,
That holiday pay. Man, I still wish I got holiday pay or overtime.
But is it worth it though?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
When they tax the crap out of it.
Promise you, I would go to work tomorrow if I was getting paid for it. Promise you, I would.
Yeah, y'all. It's Christmas. This is episode 81. We didn't do anything for 80 because I totally forgot. I would have done something for 80. But yeah, I think we talked about it. I don't know. I can't remember. But
we talked about it together. But I was like,
man,
I'm gonna make a big old thing for 100.
For 100. Yeah.
But right now, we're on 81. We've been pretty consistent since we've been back, guys. So I don't want to hear nothing. We've been good.
Even though we only had one view on our last one.
And I think that might have been me because I don't know what I did, but I uploaded the video late. Well, I uploaded it, but it was like, she came to me like, what was it, like Saturday morning? Mm-hmm. And she was like, you upload the pod? I'm like, yeah. She's like, on YouTube? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I didn't see it. Usually I get a notification. And I go to the YouTube and I'm like, it's sitting in my drafts. And I'm like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I didn't. I'm pretty sure I scheduled it like normal to come up at like 9 a.m. or I don't know what happened. So I just made it go live. And I think the timing in it was, it's all about algorithms with YouTube. And yeah, I don't think they, it just didn't flow with algorithm of, when we usually upload our podcasts. So yeah, but this one I'm trying to have out. I will have out Christmas morning, probably like 8 a.m. or whatever. So, yeah, stay tuned and look forward to that. We're going to jingle all the way.
Jingle. Okay. Now that, I know you don't celebrate Christmas, but now you're with me and you celebrate Christmas. What is, never mind. I already know the answer. Never mind. I'm not even going to ask the question.
What?
I'm going to say, what's your favorite holiday movie? And you're going to be like, Die Hard. And we've always had this discussion.
That's my favorite Christmas movie, Die Hard. But no, if I had to pick, I do like The Elf. The Elf is a good movie.
We watched it last night.
The Grinch is cool. Like, it's more than cool. The Grinch is a really good movie. I really do enjoy The Grinch. But I think if, like, what could I watch more or, like, more on a whim, it's probably Elf. But I do really like The Grinch, but I gotta be like in the mood. I gotta be like, oh, I want to watch The Grinch today. But like if I walk in a room and Elf is on, I'll probably watch it. You know what I mean? But if I walk in a room and Grinch is on, I'm just like, probably not in the mood for Grinch right now. So
yeah, I think Yeah, I
What
think.
would you pick over The Grinch and Elf?
See, those are my two favorite movies, though.
But I'm saying, like, what would you pick over them? Like, what's your favorite of those two?
Probably The Grinch. I just think that Jim Carrey. This is the live action one, so Jim Carrey one. I just think every time I watch it, there's always like something new I find. And it's like really funny. And also there's like things that like I didn't when I watched it when I was little, like I didn't understand. And now that I watch it as an adult, I'm like, oh wow. But
like,
I think
like that one chick.
yeah. And she's like, but this new thing, and she's like yeah. I don't know, it's just like I think Jim Carrey like hit that like out of the park, and I think I'm not gonna say that's one of his best movies, but like it's up there. I think his like comedy style and the way he like delivers things was like super like cool to see as an adult now watching. Not when I was younger, I was like, oh my god, because I mean I'm not gonna lie, there was like certain parts of the Grinch that I got scared. But I think it was at Amazon. I don't know, you played it over like Thanksgiving. We watched it, and it was like some like deleted scenes or like extra scenes. I was like, this is not part of like the movie that I know, like the original movie.
Extra scenes in there.
Yeah,
that we was watching. I didn't know that.
And there was like this is new because it had like different more add-on libs. I'm like, this is new. This is not.
Had the director's cut. You know.
Yeah,
What I mean?
And which it just kind of like threw me off because we were watching and it was like, because I mean I can quote the Grinch, like when I watch it I can like quote it. But I was like, this is new. I'm like, what the heck is this? And like, I don't know. I didn't like the director's cut of it, I guess. I like just like the.
Yeah, I've
the
definitely
regular.
have watched movies or stuff before, and I'll be like, I don't remember this scene being. It's a perfect example of this. You know how they have like certain like TV edits to movies and like whatever, and it's just I guess you can call it a horror movie. I'm not sure, but it's called The Descent, where these girls go into this cave, and they're going like, I guess you call it spelunking or whatever they call it, and the girl takes them to like a cave that's never been ventured into before. You know, like, we could be the first. You know what I mean? And so the other girl thought they were going to a different one, and then they was really into one that they'd never been in before. And obviously these mutated creatures come out, yada yada yada. But if you don't know this movie, watch it. It's really good. Really like this movie. If you haven't seen it, skip like 2 minutes ahead because I'm going to spoil the ending. But
skip like all the movie.
But at the very end, on like the real DVD, like whatever version of the film, like it's like, okay, so she gets out of the cave and then she gets to the car and it's like, you know, she sees the girl that's dead or whatever. She's like, oh, and it was fake or whatever. In the car, whatever. That whole scene when she escapes, it's a dream. She really wakes up and she's still in the cave. And it was like, oh, okay, that's how it ended. And then on the Sci-Fi Channel, it ends with that scene of like her escaping. It doesn't show like, oh, that was an hallucination, like a dream. Like she was really knocked out and that was all fake.
Yeah.
So me and my mom was talking about it. I was like, oh, yeah. She was like, yeah, she escaped. And I was like, no, she didn't. And she's like, yes, she did. I'm like, no, she didn't. And she's like, yeah, she got out. She got in her car. And I'm like, yeah, but that was a dream. Like she woke up and she was still in the cave. Like, what are you talking about? Like, so we had this whole like debate and I looked it up and I was like, and then I actually saw the Sci-Fi Channel version, like watching it on TV. And yeah, that's how it ended. And I'm like, why would they do that? Like, that's not how that movie ended. Like, why would they do that? So yeah, I've definitely have seen TV versions and real versions of movies. And I'll be like, oh, this is like, almost like a whole different movie. You know?
Okay, but doesn't that also piss you off when you're watching a movie and then like they cut like certain seasons of the movie and you're just like, what the heck? Like they like deem as inappropriate, so they cut it off of the movie and you're just like,
or just like cut stuff. Cut stuff for TV.
Yeah,
or like they shorten it for TV.
It's so dumb.
Or whatever, and I'm just like, and I'm watching it and I'm like, oh wait, where's that scene? Or if I only know the movie from TV and then I watch the DVD version and I'm like, oh, like this is way different. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so like I've definitely, I've dealt with both, like, and it's weird. Yeah. I don't know why they do stuff like that. Cause like, oh, it's, the TV edit, we cut some corners, some, they call it maybe fluff or whatever, but it's like, no, that's the movie that I know. Like this isn't the movie I know now. Like this
You're
is
like,
different.
this is garbage.
Yeah. I'm like, this is a whole different movie now.
Yeah.
So yeah. How many Jim Carrey movies have you seen in your life? Have you seen a good amount or just like a couple? I was gonna ask you what's your favorite Jim Carrey movie, but if you've only seen like 2 or 3, then
I would probably say like the Ace Ventura.
Okay.
Like, I mean, Grinch, obviously, but like that's a people are like that's a holiday movie. It's not really, but I think the Ace Ventura.
No,
I think
that counts. I think Grinch counts.
yeah, I would say Grinch and then like the Ace Ventura. I think that's just like I don't know. He just like I said, he's just very his comedy style. It's like gold. I mean, I know people are gonna debate me. They're gonna be like, "There's other better comedians." I'm like, but I think
Nah,
he was
Jim
good.
Carrey is like 101.
I mean, because I know Jim Carrey from In Living Color. In Living Color, you could do what you wanna do.
Yeah, he's always
In
been
Living
like
Color.
that guy.
Oh, you hear that vocals right there?
I like probably my favorite.
Just ignore
I'm
my
just ignoring you. Probably my favorite. Ooh,
Tell me, liar, liar.
that's one of the first Jim Carrey movies I saw as a kid. I remember watching Liar Liar over my aunt's house. I think she got like the VHS or something. I just remember watching it over my aunt's house. Damn, there's just so many. Like The Mask is a really good movie.
Oh, I forgot about the Mask. Yeah.
The Mask is a really good. I even like some of his older movies, like Fun with Dick and Jane, and like Yes Man, and like it's, he's had a lot of movies that I've really liked. Truman Show is a really good one. Dumb and Dumber, like he just has some. I don't know. So between The Mask,
Is this
might be between The Mask and Liar Liar.
okay? Does it sound like messed up to be like I like the younger Jim Carrey, not the older Jim Carrey, like
the more sillier, goofier.
yeah.
like,
But then like he had some like those like mixing like serial movies.
yeah.
And like there was like one where he was like kind of like I think like a serial killer or something like really weird.
The number 23 one.
Yeah, something like weird. I was like,
I think it was. I don't know if that was a horror movie or just like
Yeah.
a thriller.
yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah. See, I like both, right? I like the sillier, younger Jim Carrey, but I like when they kind of grow up in comedy and make more serious comedy. Because I talk shit about Adam Sandler all the time. I really like Adam Sandler's younger movies when he was silly, Waterboy. What's the one? When he goes back to school, Billy Madison. All of those movies back then, right? Mr. Deeds, Anger Management, which were a little more grown up, but then I really liked movies like Spanglish, Click, really good movies where they're like adult. The first Grown Ups, really good. Like I liked those movies, and then I feel like he fell back into doing like the real stupid, like what am I watching? Like this is so dumb, you know what I mean? And I just didn't like that backslide. 'Cause I felt like he was going up to be like really mature comedy, like family comedy, or like even like like Spanglish, a mature comedy. Click, it had silly moments. The concept was unique, but it was more mature. You know what I mean? He's a grown man with a wife, kid. Like he's like a mature adult versus like Billy Madison, where he's so stupid that he has to like go back to kindergarten and do school all over again. Like funny, but it's like But once you get into your 40s and feel like I want to see, but then you start doing those Netflix movies, and they were just all so dumb, and I'm just like, man, you went from Spanglish, Click to Grown Ups 1, because Grown Ups 2 was absolutely stupid.
Oh.
Grown Ups 1 was like that type of level. It was mature. He gets together with his high school friends or whatever. They go on a family trip together. Like, cool. It was real. The comedy was like up here. You know what I mean? It was like, and then Grown Ups 2 went back to being like stupid. Like, oh, I'm gonna fall 40 feet off a cliff, but for some reason I'm still alive. It's funny, but it's like, yeah. I just like the growth, and then it just went back downhill, and I was just like, well. And he had like a serious movie called like a serious movie, not a comedy at all, called Rain Over Me with Don Cheadle that I really liked. Yeah. So and then he went back to silly. So like Jim Carrey, I enjoyed like, him getting like more mature roles, but I did like Mask, Dumber and Dumber.
Is there any
Ace
like
Ventura's.
any like actor that you just like ruined their career? Like they started good,
Like from the movies and stuff they were in, or just like personal stuff ruined their career? What you mean?
like movies that they were in. Like they started off with like a certain like genre, and they were really really good at it. They switched genres, and then it just like it ended their career. Like you're just like, I don't want to watch it because I feel like any movie he watches now is like dumb.
I can't think of one because I enjoy actors that can be versatile. They can be in a comedy. They can be in an action. They can be in a serious,
Yeah, because I was gonna say like your other one could be like, which actor like fucked up, and then which one is the one that's like that you think has done really well to have like different
roles.
Yeah.
Who's one that played like Brad Pitt? I think he's really good because he could be and Tom Cruise. You know, I don't watch a lot of Tom Cruise movies, but like I think both of them are really good at being in like comedy movies, serious movies, action movies, dramas. I think they kind of both knock it out of the park in that regard. Like Tom Cruise less so. He hasn't been in too many comedies, but whenever he's popped up in a comedy, I'm like, damn, okay, Tom Cruise could be funny. That's cool. I think Kevin Hart has like some like he has some flashes of when he could do like a serious drama role. Most of his movies, I'm not the biggest of fans of, but I think I like. See, I don't know. I liked his comedy more, his stand up more than his movies at first, but now I don't really like his stand up that much. It's cool, but it's like
I like his old stand up.
Like it's cool. It's just cool. You know what I mean? I could tell he's like strutted on the line of like maintaining his status, so to speak. So he's not going to really say he's not going to say anything controversial. He's not going to cross any lines. He's not, which is fine. You know what I mean? You could be like, he's not a clean comedian because he goes up there, he cusses a lot, he talks about sex, whatever. You know what I mean? So he could still, like, he still does that, but I could tell he's not saying anything that's like cancelable or it's like something that's going to like rub feathers. Like he's not rubbing any feathers wrong up there. You know what I mean? Like he's an everybody comic. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you can maybe not your kids, but you can watch them with like your teenage kids. You can watch them with your parents. You can watch it with whomever. You know what I mean? But like the movies are okay. Like it's been a while since I've seen a trailer for a Kevin Hart movie, and I was like, I want to see that. You know what I mean? It has been a while. I've never seen any of the Jumanjis he does, and I honestly haven't seen a Kevin Hart movie. In fact, I don't know when the last time I watched a Kevin Hart movie. I must admit. Yeah, it's been a while. But what about you? Who's an actor that you think messed up their career by the roles they played, and then which one do you think has been well at doing different roles?
I don't have a top like actor that like has messed up their careers. There's people that I'm like, I'm not a fan. Like I think, like I said, Kevin Hart. Like I like Kevin Hart. I like his stand-up comedian. I think he does have certain movies, like Central. Is it Central Line or something
Central
like that?
Intelligence?
Yeah, that he did with The Rock. I feel like that's good. Like because it's like action but comedy at the same time. That was a good movie. But there's certain things that I'm like, ugh. The one that I think that's kind of like versatile. Ooh. I would probably say like maybe Jim Carrey. I think he has, even though I don't really like his like serious side of it, but I think, he does
a good job when he does do it.
I mean, also I feel like with stand-up comedy people, I feel like that goes the same thing of like, I feel, what's his face? Mike Epps, Mike Epps, yeah. I feel like his comedy was like, it just gets super raunchy. Like, I'm not a fan of raunchy comedies. Like comedians.
Stand up, you mean?
Yeah, like for stand up. Like, I think Fluffy is a really good one. I really like Fluffy. Sorry, my little jingle bells. Yeah, I love Fluffy. I think my mom. He's had a couple. What's it called when they have it on Netflix?
Specials.
They're specials that my mom didn't really like. But
you said your mom didn't like?
Yeah, like I enjoyed them.
She thought it was too raunchy. Or she thought that it wasn't funny. Which one?
She thought it was like not as funny. But I feel like with Fluffy, which is Gabriel Iglesias, if you guys didn't know. But I like him. I think younger Kevin, was good. Like he has a couple specials that I'm like, oh, they're like that you can quote, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like Mike Epps is one of those like comedians that I'm just like
raunchy.
Yeah.
Like I think Gabriel's in the same sphere as Kevin Hart, and I like Fluffy specials. When I watch him, I'm like, I laugh, but I could tell like he's not gonna not necessarily be raunchy, but just like, you know what I mean, like even, you know what I mean. He's not gonna go too far up, too far down. Like he's gonna be even. He's not gonna ruffle any feathers because it's like, and I'm 100% okay with that. Like when it comes to Kevin Hart, like yes, I'm not a fan of it too much anymore, but it's like I'm not hating either because it's like that's what's paying you, that's what's getting you the money, that's what's getting you the advertisement deals. Like someone going up on stage using the retard word or using derogatory language.
Said the R word.
Like they're not getting the what's the shit he's on? Like he's not getting the Verizon commercials and the you know what I mean? He's not advertising Uber Eats. You know what I mean? Like they're not getting those type of deals. So like I understand it. Like you have to play the game in a sense. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad at him not being as raunchy and stuff as he was in his younger days. Because I get it, like you're the family man, Kevin Hart,
But I also feel like Kevin Hart, when he was being raunchy, I feel like it was funny though.
Yeah, it wasn't too crazy. Even then, it still wasn't like over the top. Like it wasn't crazy.
It's like it was like he was talking about sex, but I feel like it was in a, I don't know, like I guess an appropriate level of it, like. You knew he was talking about that. You know he was like whatever, but I feel like it was appropriate. Yeah. But I feel like there's some comedians that like take it and like like they're gonna talk about sex, and then they just go too far. And you're just like, that's not even funny. Like I'm like, dude, that's gross. Like they're like, oh yeah, you did. I'm like, no. And then I'm seeing a lot of like new comedians, like because they pop on my Insta as we like to call it. And I watch them and I'll just go through their like things and I'm like, some of it's like funny and then some of it I'm like, yo, you're just dumb. Like, like why are you talking? Like, and they're like, oh, the cancel culture. I don't want to get canceled, but they don't talk about it.
Yeah, you know? It takes me a lot to get into like a new comedian. Like every once in a while, I'll find a new comedian and I'll go like down a rabbit hole of either the Instagrams or YouTube, and I'll go down a rabbit hole. And I'm like, oh man, that guy's really fun. Like I like that one Mexican guy. Ralph something. I can't remember his last name. I like him. He's pretty funny. There's a couple of new guys that I like that's coming up or, that have established themselves. I'm like, oh, they're pretty funny. You know what I mean? I'll watch like, clips or whatever on YouTube and I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny, but.
I mean, a funny one for me would be like Tony Baker. I feel like
I love Tony Baker. I like Kevin them. Like, that's my type of grown man comedy, I guess you could say. Like,
because I took you to go see him. Or did I take you or you took me?
I don't remember. I think we both just agreed. Like, want to go see Tony Baker?
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember.
I feel like,
but yeah, that was a good show.
And I took you, and we went like super up close. Because I remember we ate Chipotle right before we went to because it was out in Liberty.
Yeah.
We ate Chipotle in the car, and then we went to go see. And like, I like picked this random tickets. Like I was like, oh, I bought whatever random ones. Man, we were like so up close, like right in front of him, and like he like interacted with you, and you were just like. Tony Becker asked you about like what's your insecurity. You're like, oh yeah, I can't grow a beard, and he's like, but you look nice, and I was like, look at him complimenting him. But I also like Tony Baker because it's like he was okay with us filming him. He just didn't want us to film the whole thing, he was okay with like, oh, if you want to tag me in this, tag me in this or do whatever, like I'm okay with that, which I kind of like that. I don't like which I think that's like a like Fluffy and Kevin Hart, like,
Lock your phone in the box.
Yeah, put your phone in a box and you girl this. I'm like, but I paid money.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to, like, capture that I got to see you. I think that's, like, how you said, like, the stardom of, like, oh, now they're making really big money.
I think it's, like, people like that where it's, like, they're being, like, I think the unique thing about Tony is I think, like, a lot, I mean, he might, like, tell some, repeat jokes in a couple of cities, but I think a lot of his comedy is, like, off the cuff, like it's freestyle, like it's very improv, if you will. Like he just kind of, he's just talking. You know what I mean? He's talking and it's funny. You know what I mean? But like if Kevin Hart, Gabriel Iglesias, like if they're going on tour, they're like touring this set. You know what I mean? And they'll probably tour this set, and then this set will probably end up on Netflix later on. So it's like, they don't want the whole show out there because it's like. Then the next city's not going to want to buy tickets because they don't seen the whole show because it's out there on YouTube or whatever. And it's like, I get that in a sense, but it's like, damn, I want to at least get like let me get a couple pictures like, hey, I was at Fluffy. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I can't even pull my phone out.
I saw Fluffy. And
some comedians like Fluffy, and I don't know if it's that he doesn't want to. I know he's had like a couple like Netflix like TV shows or whatever, but he's never really been in like movies and stuff like that.
Well, he does a lot of voice acting movies.
Ah, okay.
So like he was in Coco, he was in the movie Planes, where they're like Disney.
Oh, of course, that one.
Yeah. I think he does a lot of like voice like
That voice
actor.
acting work is nice. I like when I hear a voice that pops up. I'm like, hey, I know that person.
Yeah,
You know
so
what I mean?
I think I
cool.
think he has been in movies, maybe like not in a physical form of it, but like his voice has
But
been
his
in
voice
movies.
has been okay. That's cool because I think like especially like back in the '90s, the whole I know how we're going on like a whole comedy thing, but like I know the whole thing in the '90s was like '90s and early 2000s was like you become a stand-up comedian, you get big on stand-up, and then you get a TV show. You know what I mean? Martin, Jamie Foxx, George Lopez, Raymond, Kevin James for King and Queens. Like you became a big comic, and then they gave you a TV show. Dave Chappelle, like they give you a TV show. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's not what they're doing anymore. You know what I mean? So I think now like the comedians they transition into movies. And they start doing comedy movies, and they start if they can really act or they really like acting, then they'll start getting into more serious roles, dramas, or maybe some action flicks or something. But like, the '90s and early 2000s was like you become a big comic and then you get your TV show. It's like I made it. I got my TV show. So
I feel like that's for like Jerry Seinfeld. I feel like
Jerry Seinfeld, he's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like,
Like
I would have. I'm trying like, how do I put it? Like I think if I was older, but back when he was young.
Like Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Like back when he was young? Okay.
Like back when he was young, I think I would have want to go see him like live in person. Like see his like I feel like now I think he's just like old, so it's just kind of like
he's like probably in the 70s or something.
Yeah.
So.
But I feel like I wish I was
you were old enough back then to want to go to have
be able to go see him. Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of comics back then that's like, we're kind of older now, like we'll never see like some of the legends, like Eddie Murphy, like, you know what I mean? He's not doing no stand-up anymore, you know what I mean? Or, just people that were like super big back then that's like,
Eddie Murphy was a good one.
Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac, he got his TV show. D.L. Hughley, he got his TV show. Steve Harvey, he got his TV show. Cedric, Cedric was on the Steve Harvey show, but it's like, back then, you became big and you got your TV show. That was your I made it moment. Like,
and now
I got the Martin show, the Jamie Foxx show.
Yeah. Now Steve Harvey is a
Family Feud. You know what I'm saying? He became a name after
a few. He had a few moments of.
He had some movies. He tried this movie thing, but I think I don't think to be honest with you, Steve Harvey's cool. Like I've seen some old stuff from him where he was like on the raunchier side, and I thought it was funnier than like stuff that I saw like later on in his career where I was just like, I don't think Steve Harvey's funny. But then I saw some older stuff like when he was like young, and I was like, oh, he used to be funny. I get it.
He said used to be.
And I
funny.
think what it was again like when we talk about the Kevin Hart and Gabriel Iglesias, I think he became like a kind of like a cleaner comic, and he kind of became family, which is fine because they got him in a couple of movies. I don't think movies was ever his thing because again, I don't think he was like funny enough to like carry these movies. So he had a few movies and they were cool, but he wasn't like Martin and Jamie and people like that were like Kevin, like movie stars.
What's your thoughts on The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
I was like, what, actor?
Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's mostly the same. I mean, he just had that. I think he just had that movie about, was it a UFC fighter or was it a wrestler? Whatever it was. Yeah. I think people were kind of, I don't know if they were raving about it or not. I had to see what the reviews were for it, but I put him in the vein of like the Bruce Willis's, No, I think Bruce Willis was a little better actor because Bruce Willis, with the action, he had more acting chops.
Yeah.
Maybe the Jason Statham, where it's like, not a great actor, but box office, you know what I mean? They're going to be in a big action movie. It's going to make shit ton of money, and it's like, cool, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone's going to see a movie starring The Rock and thinking that they're going to find, like, some incredible acting, but they're looking for the action, you know what I mean? Like, he's going to do some shit that don't make sense. He's going to fucking hold a helicopter down, and it's like, all right, bro. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's that strong, baby.
So it's like, but I don't dislike The Rock. You know what I mean? When he shows up and he's in the movies, I'm like, cool. But it's like,
Is it okay? Is it bad though? Because when you think of The Rock, you think of Fast and the Furious. All his movies are like action based, and like they're always like him being like the strong buff guy for everything, just because of how he's built. I mean, yeah, he had. I think that one like Disney movie was like he was the
That boat thing or whatever. Oh my, Emily Blunt or whatever it was.
no. Oh, I know what you're talking about, but no,
Tooth Fairy one.
the Tooth Fairy one. Yeah, where he's like the football player and whatever. I think.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about earlier about how people are versatile. And some people are just in their box. That's fine. You know what I mean? Rock is in his box. Jason Statham's in his box. Vin Diesel's in his box.
Vin Diesel needs to go somewhere else.
He's in his box.
I feel like he had what Triple X.
He had the
Fast and Furious.
Chronicles of Riddick, the Pitch Black series.
Yeah.
That was a good series, and Fast and Furious. I mean,
yeah, and they're making the Fast and Furious forever ending, whatever.
Yeah.
And he just like looks like a. He's trying to be buff, but he looks like the fat buff where he's like I'm buff in the arms but fat everywhere else. I'm like, brother in Christ, what is this?
Seagal buff. It's like, dog, you don't got it no more.
Dude, Steven Seagal, like, he tried to come back in his acting, but it's like, oh, he's like a
because he could never act, and it's like now that he can't really do the martial arts
like
he used to. It's like, dude, we don't.
Yeah, you see him like there was like one movie I think I don't know if it's like recent, but like it was definitely a couple years ago, and it was like a Steven Seagal movie because all his movies were like he was the hot guy, but he's like does martial arts and he's always gonna save the girl or whatever, and he had this one movie and he's like a police officer and he's big, like he's old and big. And my mom's like, man, he's gonna break his head trying to kick this person down. But you see him like he's like beating up the guy, and I'm like, sit your ass down somewhere.
Yeah, I think he was one of the ones that like took it for granted because people liked him. They probably thought he was handsome or whatever.
Yeah.
But like you could tell that he didn't like keep it up. You know what I mean? Like, cause you still see guys that was kicking it back then with him that are still like in shape. They're still, doing their martial arts. But he got fat and then he
supposedly he was like an actual police officer too.
Oh, back in the day or something?
No, like...
Or like recently?
Yeah, like recently. I think he
yeah,
he had that one TV show or whatever.
Yeah, I think he just took it for granted. He didn't want to keep it up. You still got people like Michael J. White and shit. I think even people like...
Wesley Snipes,
Sylvester Stallone, like, where they're still like, they're action guys and they kept it up. You know what I mean? Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, I think he kind of letting himself go a little bit now. Not fat, but he's just like, I'm like pushing 80. I don't need to be... You know what I mean? But it's like...
I mean, I will say, though, not Arnold, but with the other guy. Sylvester. Man, watching them in the Expendables, because they had all the heart. I was like, dude, one of them is ready to die in any minute.
Like the joint that was like, hey, we're going to get all these action guys.
But it was good, though.
And we're going to get them together. And it was fire. You know what I mean?
Each movie was good.
It was all those guys, except for Steven Seagal, because nobody fucks with him. You know what I mean? And that was a movie that he probably woulda, coulda, shoulda been in, but it's like, don't nobody mess with him like that. So it's like,
who?
Steven Seagal.
Oh,
it's like, yeah, he probably could have been in the Expendables, but
he is.
Is he in that movie?
Yes. Steven Seagal. Oh, Steven Seagal. Sorry, no. You're right.
I don't think he was in it. I seen most of the first one. They made 3 of them, but I never seen the second and third one.
Oh, they're good. You have to watch them.
They're all good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember every time we watched them. We went to the movie theater, my mom and I. But the first one was good. There was one.
Did 50 Cent pop up in one of them?
No. It was Chuck Norris popped in one of them, and then Arnold popped in another one. The boxer that he fought.
Logren or whatever his name is.
Yeah, not Steven Seagal.
That's the long in the Rocky.
Yeah, he was in there. Wesley Snipes was in one of them. I was sad when they let Jet Li out though. After I think he left the second movie. The third movie he wasn't in the third movie. No, but he was definitely in the first two.
Nothing in a while. He might just hung it up.
Jet Li though. Jet Li and Jackie Chan though. Whew.
They used to be kicking some ass.
Yeah, and then they still do. They'd be like, oh yeah, Jackie Chan still be doing his own stunts.
I think they just said they was making a new Rush Hour. Don't quote me on that though.
Man, Rush Hour is my movies though. I love all 3.
I think they're making a new one. Don't quote me about it. I feel like they just greenlit one, but Jackie old too now though. He ain't really doing too much.
Jackie should not be doing his own stuff, but he does.
Maybe they'll be like the old guys to be like the teaching the new guys. They probably put like a spin on it because I can't see them still. I mean, I guess Chris Tucker's not too old. He's probably 50.
Chris Tucker
or something.
He just run his mouth. That's all he'll do.
Damn, Jackie.
Yeah, pretty much, baby. Hit it right on the nail. All right, y'all. Ready?
That's
Oh, it's our segment of our favorite segment of this pod. It's ouch.
Question.
I know. It's like is. I want to be like pop culture panic camp. Pop culture panic camp.
Wow.
Woo! But it's gonna be our version of 2,000 questions about me. 2,000 questions about whatever. Okay. I gotta see myself out. I'm getting tired.
Stop.
Ooh. Dang.
Stop.
I know. Which one going? Left or right?
Left.
If you had to take a superhero side, are you Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Oh.
I like Marvel stories more. I felt they were more in touch with like what was going on in the world versus DC, where DC was kind of like, DC was more fantasy than Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just think that we're back. Yeah, I think that Marvel just has better storylines for me, like as far as being like grounded. I think DC has more like fantasy stories where it's like, you know what? People are gonna hear that and be like, "What are you talking about?" Like, but as far as like political issues and like, discrimination against mutants and stuff like that, like I love the X-Men. I have a bunch of X-Men comics over there. But I feel like DC it just seems more like just villains, you know what I mean? Like regular villains and stuff like that, where it's like crime, street level crime. I mean, they have some intergalactic stuff just like Marvel does, but I don't know. I guess I relate more to Marvel's stories, but I really like DC as well. And as far as like the movies go and stuff, I really like Marvel better. But DC, I like their animated stuff better. Like I feel like they always have some really good animated shows. Batman, Superman, Static Shock, Justice League. The animated movies used to go crazy. They just haven't been able to get it together on their live action front. I don't know what it is. I don't know if DC just doesn't. I don't know if it just doesn't translate well into live action the way that Marvel does. I don't know, but they just haven't been able to. I don't know. They just haven't been able to get that done. I don't know why. But yeah, so I'm leaning more towards the Marvel side. What say you?
I for sure. Well, I don't know. It just feels like, I mean, DC has like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of women in DC. But you got the Hulk and Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man. And this is where we get canceled. No, I think probably Marvel for sure. Yeah, Marvel.
You leaning more toward the Marvels?
Yeah. I don't have like in-depth detail like you did, because I'd just be like, who is the superhero? And then I'm gonna go, okay.
Yeah, I'm more. I haven't read any DC comics, but I watched a lot of the shows growing up. So I know a lot of, if they're true to the comics, I know a lot of the storylines. And I've read a lot of. I don't want to say a lot of, because I mean it's like 70 years of Marvel comics, but I've read a good handful of some X-Men, like some Arthur's runs, like Chris Claremont and Josh Whedon, and some people I've read some of their runs, and I enjoy it. So yeah, what say you guys down there in the comments? What are you choosing, Marvel or
DC?
I'm about to say Capcom, like Marvel versus Capcom. That's why I paused. I was like, it's not Capcom. What am I trying to say? So yeah, let us know in the comments what you guys are picking there.
And on that note, y'all, this is your favorite segment of the pod, besides us giving you the questions.
But yeah, we really do hope you guys had a good holiday. We'll see you
on the New Year.
Yeah, New Year's Day or the day after New Year's Day. What's New Year's Day? That's on Thursday, right? So yeah, we'll see you January 2nd. Ringing in the new year. That'll be a good episode. We'll talk about, all the things that we want for ourselves in this new year. Maybe we'll have a special episode that week too. Maybe we'll try to put that one out on New Year's Day as well.
Ooh.
And then we're about to go back to our regular scheduled Friday episodes. But
yeah.
We might put that out on New Year's Day as well. Let's talk about, our goals for the future and, what we want out of this year and, all that good stuff. But for now, we're going to celebrate the holidays and be merry and spend time with our families. And hopefully you guys are being able to spend time with your families as well.
Yep.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Merry Christmas. Stay safe in the streets.
Merry Chrysler. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Deuces.